We've heard a lot of data. We've seen that people are generally pretty happy with search. We see they're using it more often. We see that they are doing crazy amounts of tasks and different types of tasks, and yet we're in third place at Microsoft. How do we compete? We go back to the data, and we look at what people are doing, and we look at what customers are actually experiencing out there, and then from there, we can hopefully divine some insights which can help us figure out what to build. We had what people tell us they want in an engine, so things that have to be there. And then we have things that we see people are doing. There are these unknown needs they have, which we can see through the data. So the challenge in taking all these ideas is building a product which both addresses what they say they have to have a search engine, and also builds features and functions to address problems they don't know they have yet. And that's what we did.
We have search logs over the entire period of time we've been running search. That gives you a good indicator about how people are searching. But then we also have a broader set of data where we get the toolbar data from all the countries where we have the toolbar, and we're able to see not just what people are doing on our search engine, but what are they doing on every search engine.
If search is a gas station, then highly relevant results are gas. They're why people stop in. They might go inside and get a Snickers bar as well, but most of the time they're there to fuel up. So getting the best results on the page is paramount for us. Anytime we see a query where customers don't click on any of our results, or where customers have to type in a new query and refine their search, we take that as a very bad signal to us, and that's an opportunity for us to improve. So we're constantly working on increasing that success rate and increasing how often that success occurs on that first query right on the first page of results. We've worked hard to help either answer the question for the customer right on the page with no clicks, or to give them more information about whether or not this page is one that they want to go visit.
When we look at queries, there are some table stakes, some expectations that users have that we must address. Things like relevance, things like speed and performance. There are ways that we can help users with tools to get to the results that they want to get to. Tools that can help them to refine a query and get it phrased just right, such as auto-suggest. One of the things that users sometimes do is just click on the wrong thing. They get a bad click. We want to prevent that, and there's ways that we can do that. One is called instant answers, which we use, which shows what we believe is a great answer to the query that somebody's typed. And if a user sees that, sometimes they'll get the answer right on the page. Another way is this a feature called best match. It's a way of surfacing what we believe is the ideal result for a query very directly at the top of the page, and it can get users straight to the answer that they want very effectively without clicking on any bad links.
86% of people said that they wanted a more organized search experience. Only a third of the people said that they were getting an organized search experience. They really liked a way to organize the results and give you a better experience by adding structure and order to the chaos of 10 blue links.
What we realized, which is kind of common sense, is that queries were clustering into sort of categories of queries, and we found that these categories had refinements that were unique to that category. So for example, if you were looking for a camera, the things you were looking for around a camera were unique to that category of things. So you might be looking for reviews of a camera, or you might be looking for prices or places to buy it, or how-to guides, but the things you're looking for a camera are different than the things you might be looking for if you're looking for a pair of shoes. You'll watch users about 50% of the time are trying to refine their queries, and sometimes they're successful. More often than not, they'll just abandon when it becomes too complicated. They'll just give up.
We can help users by refining those queries, by anticipating what they're going to be refining on, and then presenting that up front in the web results to help them get a more organized experience.
We used algorithms to figure out from all the data, what were the specific things to a query. So we invented this thing we've called a talk, which is a table of contents, which is a way for a user just to start their general query. We try to keep the magic of all the hard work in the engine and make it very simple for consumers. So that's why we put this Explorer pane on the left-hand side, where you just type in a simple query and then we'll do all the work, and then you just click and you get access to very highly relevant results just for that specific thing. We took that area of dissatisfaction and we introduced an opportunity for us to provide satisfaction. We saw that when users were exposed to the feature, their satisfaction levels with their current search engines dropped between 16 and 20%, which makes the point that consumers are not satisfied with search today.
Many sessions are relatively quick in and out sessions. About 50% of time spent in search is really around these longer sessions where people are going deep and trying to find information or make a decision or help simplify a task. About 47% of queries are actually repeat queries where people are going back to previous tasks that they've done before.
We introduced the idea of history, which allows you to store history on what the consumer's doing and what clicks they've made. So we can use that to help reduce the amount of clicks, reduce bad clicks, get back to good clicks.
We looked at the tasks that were complex, that involved multiple sessions, that involved key decisions. The tasks related to shopping, local, travel were areas of opportunity where we could really create a more end-to-end scenario to help simplify what users were trying to accomplish.
There's a comfort food in search for people. They're used to blue links, they're used to green URLs. Search engines over the past 10 years have taught them that this is how you find what you're after. Most of those engines are a bit one-size-fits-all. They get a lot of kudos for being simple, but it's also the challenge. I think the evolution is more in intent and more in the concept around your search than it is in necessarily the design. To evolve search, we need a framework, and Kiev is the first step toward that. We've established this left pane, this left column that contains the related searches. It contains the concepts around your search. It affords us a canvas that we can grow, that we can paint upon, release over release, feature over feature. Search is about 10 blue links, and it probably will be for a while, but there's a lot more to it than that, and this is the first big step to get us there.
One of the goals that we're hoping to achieve by focusing on these scenarios that are complex, multi-session and long, is that we're hoping that by simplifying that experience, we can actually start to build trust with the user and build confidence that search engines can do more and they can really deliver against helping simplify the tasks that people are trying to do, and they're turning to search engines today to accomplish, but they're not necessarily getting. We're starting to change the paradigm of what a search engine can do, and we're changing the user experience, which is something that really hasn't been done in the past 10 years.